The war grinds onwards, and moves and countermoves occur across the entirety of the globe. The French launched a major offensive into Belgium, scoring a minor victory. Although the butcher bill was high on both sides, the Germans suffered a few more casualties, with very few infantry divisions remaining, and it's only the presence of the reinforcements moving up that will help balance that front. The French fleet has moved up into the English Channel in hopes of moving into the North Sea and securing the coastline of Britain from future attacks, and the German Empire has to decide if they will allow the French and the British to move into the sea zone and begin to protect not only British sea zones but also to begin to strangle German income and resources flowing into the German Empire from the North Sea. The British are beginning to build up their navy in the presence of dreadnoughts, submarines, and cruisers off the coast of England, and it's well needed because in the Indian Ocean, Admiral von Spee has chased the British fleet from the Indian Ocean and into the Red Sea. The Italians have later on joined the British forces in the Red Sea because they needed that strength to hold back Admiral von Spee and his cruiser force. Now they present a significant force in the Red Sea that is just on the tough side of being able to attack. The presence here of the British and Italians will allow them to reinforce either side of these straits, with the British showing a presence in Mecca and Palestine, and the Italians dropping off troops in Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. The British have invaded Palestine and engaged the Ottoman forces there as kind of a preemptive attack to prevent any Ottoman forces to move against Egypt, and the Ottomans have counterattacked them there. Now the British are on the ropes with very few units to help defend that territory, but they have secured Mecca temporarily before the Ottomans come knocking in and trying to knock them out of that position from the south. The African theater is filled with British and German forces maneuvering back and forth across the theater to try to get a superior position, with no side gaining an upper hand, and the French inexhaustibly marching their way westwards, knocking out the German forces one by one or pushing them away and out of their colonies. The Ottomans are freed up from the need of defending against British forces, with the British building up their navy, and now they push northwards, pushing into Russian territory in the Caucasus and later on into Crimea and Volga. And this is a nice presence to have for the German forces, as they are somewhat scant on the eastern front. The Austrians have picked up western Ukraine and now are face to face against whatever Russian forces are present in eastern Ukraine. But the Russians themselves are quite a bastion of strength here in central Russia and eastern Ukraine, forming a strong bastion of defense, mutually supportive, and meaning that any attacks moving towards either one of these territories have to go around the Pripyat marshes, so they have the advantage of defensive terrain in this theater. The Japanese are simply building up their strength in anticipation of rolling out when the time is right to capture all these different islands. And that brings us to the Italians and the Austro-Hungarian Empire, where both sides are again jockeying for position in Tyrol, and neither side getting the upper hand. Both sides moved into those territories hoping to knock out their opponent, but neither of them was sufficiently successful to actually win out that combat. Welcome all to Operation Tannenberg. My name is Jinx, and I am playing as the German Empire. It's always that interesting position right now where we are faced with a two-front war, the Western Theater, with the French coming knocking and doing some damage against our forces, and leaving us scrambling to assemble enough resources to hold them back. And on the Eastern Front, we're faced with a significant Russian horde, and without the wherewithal to really overpower them in any other positions of strength. So it is just the joint might of the Austrians, the Ottomans, and the Germans that might be able to topple that theater, but without that would be quite difficult to say. It's one of those things that's interesting butterfly effects because of our presence with building our navy for the Germans, our initial first moves where we took out a significant chunk of the British Navy. So that allowed us to build up a bit of a fleet, but it also meant that the British built up a bit of a fleet, which allowed the Ottomans to have a bit of breathing space so as they can push northwards into Russian territory, as well as have a sufficient presence here to knock against the British in Egypt as well, or at least in Palestine, with anticipation of going after British as well. We also see the presence of an Austro-Hungarian fleet, as well as the Ottomans have built up their fleet as well. So this is somewhat unique to the Central Powers in these type of games. So it's quite an interesting game so far. It's unfolding quite nicely. Let's move on to the German turn, because our turn is already long enough as it is, and so we don't need to extend it any further. We have 65 IPCs to spend, 15 infantry, 1 dreadnought, and 1 research token. Let's roll for that right now over here. So we have 1 left over from last turn, which means that we have actually 2 dice sets to roll, or 2 pairs of dice. With successes at 5 or 6, we should have 1.3 successes using these 2 dice. And we do have 3 successes, which is really quite astounding. Let's roll these things and see what the results are. 2 5s and a 1. That's actually 2 5s and a 2 rather. So let's see. Minefields, trenchworks. That's quite lovely. All right. I don't think I could put trenchworks into a contested territory. Yep. I have to control it at the start of my turn. All right, that will be a little bit of fun there. There's some places we could put it down for sure. All right, we're going to wait for that to the end of our turn since we're not going to be attacked. And then as for minefields, we can save that for a little bit later as well. So let's dive into our turn proper with our movements. So first of all, let's talk about navies. So this fleet here is repaired. So we have 2 dreadnoughts, a cruiser, and 2 submarines. We are going to move into Sea Zone 20 and engage that fleet there and engage this lone cruiser over here. So that's those two, this one, and these two coming over here. And we're also going to send in this submarine to Sea Zone 20 as well from Sea Zone 2. So because they are minefields and it's kind of part of movement, I'm going to roll that out now as well. I don't know if it matters like when you're supposed to move it, after moving, or if you move part of the fleet into there as well. Like theoretically, if I could call off the attack if 3 of my subs get sunk on the first roll here. Let's see. No subs lost. Now move on to the dreadnoughts. No dreadnoughts lost. And the cruiser. The cruiser is unfortunately sunk, so we lost a cruiser in that little engagement. So that is really too bad. But none to worry. It was expected to have 1 hit and all that because out of 6 dice rolled, it's expected that 1 hit to be rolled there at the very least. Let's turn our attention to some of our other moves here. Continuing on with the sea, we're going to move from Sea Zone 15, a submarine, to Sea Zone 13. And in Sea Zone 42 with Admiral von Spee, we're going to move this fleet to Sea Zone 37, our 2 transports. And I'm debating if I want to actually move into that sea zone as well and engage those dreadnoughts. It would be a tough fight. Or if I just want to leave them pinned in this position for a while. I'll leave that for a moment as I think about other stuff. So here we have the African theater. I'm going to send from Germany, East Africa, 2 machine guns, 2 infantry with machine guns and artillery into Belgian Congo. And from Cameroon to Belgian Congo, I'm going to send 1 infantry as well. So then we're going to engage our forces there. And that takes care of this theater of combat. Let's take a look at the Eastern Front. Oh yeah, sorry. And from British East Africa to Somaliland, we're sending 1 infantry as a walk-on into that territory. Looking at the Eastern Theater here, we have from Romania to Crimea 2 infantry and 3 infantry with machine gun, and we have 3 cavalry and 4 cavalry and 4 artillery moving up to Poland. From Poland to Belarus, 3 infantry, and the remaining infantry forces that were here, which is 1, 2, 3, that's 18 infantry, and 8 artillery are moving up to Lithuania with Paul von Hindenburg moving into that area there. So that's what the situation looks like there. We are moving from Brandenburg. We are going to rail in 2 infantry out to Poland. Is there nothing? We're going to rail 2 infantry out to Poland. And over in the Western Theater, we are going to make an all-out attack into Belgium itself. So that will be 2 fighters, 8 infantry, 1 from Alsace, 1 from Picardy, and whatever is remaining in this territory, and our Zeppelins as well. We're going to also move from Bavaria, 3 infantry, into Alsace. And that kind of concludes all our movements, I think, across the board. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So let's take a look at this portion of the map as well and see what we want to do. Do we want to risk that attack? I think we're going to risk that attack. So we have 4 cruisers. All right, that is quite excellent. And on the defense, okay, that's for the dreadnoughts and the cruiser. All right, we barely survived there, but that leaves us with 1 more round of combat. So round 2, we have 2 cruisers, and let's see, I'm assuming he's going to keep his highest value units versus 1. So let's roll for our 2 cruisers. All right, the remaining cruiser, and he missed. All right, so there we have it. That's the conclusion of that fight. And that was quite something. But we risk much and we gain much. So in that circumstance, we lost those 2 cruisers, and we managed to sink his ships, sink his battleships, as it were. There we have it. Quite lovely. All right, so quite the challenging fight there, but nonetheless, I think worth the risk, surprisingly successful. Moving on from that, let us take another look at other battlefields here. Let's go on the African theater. We're going, like I said, into Belgian Congo. That's 2 infantry versus our 2 infantry with artillery. Wait, sorry, 1 infantry with machine gun support, and then we have infantry and artillery. So basically, I'm rolling 4 at 3s and he's rolling 2 at 3. So here we have it. There's 1 hit. Alright, not the success we'd hoped for. And the 2 defensive units is 2 hits. So we've lost quite a few units there. But nonetheless, that is just the way she goes. So we have not managed to capture this territory from them. So we take off 2 of ours. Yeah, we take off 2 of ours. And we take off 1 of his. So not the ideal solution, but nonetheless, that's what we have to offer today. Alright. So that leaves us with 1 machine gun and 1 artillery. So really quite not a happy circumstance right there. Alright, moving on to other battles that we have going on. Let's take a look at this territory here in Belarus. Oops, territory in Belarus, where we attack that territory, and see what our results happen to be. So we have 3 infantry at 2, so hopefully we got rid of some of our negative luck. 3 infantry at 2. 1 hit, success, and we have 1 infantry defending at 3. And there we have it. So we've managed to take off 1 of their units. We've captured Belarus, and that gives us $1 of income in that theater. Excellent, excellent. Wait, did they succeed? No, they didn't succeed. I don't know why I took off a unit. Alright, never mind. I'll put that back on the board. Alright, so taking a look at the Lithuanian theater now. We have a pile of units. We'll just roll for the artillery, and they have 3. So we have 8 artillery, and then we have 8 infantry with artillery support. So did we move our fighter? We didn't. So that fighter is going to end up in Poland as well. All right, anyways, moving on. So there's 1, 2, here's 4 artillery. 1, 2, 3. And we don't need to overshot, but we'll just roll for 8 infantry with artillery support as well. And there's sufficient hits to destroy them. On the receiving side of things, we're going to roll for 3 theirs. And there's no hits. So the Russians are rolling quite poorly this time around. And we've managed to capture Lithuania for $1 extra buck. So that's not too bad. I don't know where I just put those down. Here we are. 3 infantry, putting them off to the corner. And now we look at the big battle here. We've saved the best for last in Belgium. So we've counted up the forces there present, but we'll just double check and go over it. So the French have 6 regular infantry, and then they also have 6 regular infantry, and they also have 3 with machine gun support. And as for artillery, I count 9 artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10? Should be 9. Let me double check that. 9 artillery. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 artillery, and 1 fighter. So I think I've counted all theirs. Yeah, I think we're doing good. On the flip side of things, we have 8 infantry, 9, 10 infantry. Yeah, 10 infantry going in. 10 infantry, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Hope I got that right. 8, 9, 10. And then we have 2 Zeppelins fighting in that fight. And then we have 2 machine guns attached there as well, fighting it out. And then as for artillery, we have 13. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. And then we have to do the air battle. So I've laid out all the dice here. We're all ready to go. So let's roll them out and see what the results are. So first of all, the air battle. And now this is really where the crucial fight is. 2 hits. Well, that's fantastic. Let's roll what the response is in this fight. We have 1 enemy artillery aircraft with the hit, so they've scored a hit as well. That means that we do have an extra dice, but it means we could take off their fighter off the board as well as one of our fighters. So it was a nice mutual exchange of resources there. All right, now going on to the battle. We've already upgraded artillery. We're kind of optimistic that would happen. Let's move on to the combat proper, starting with the attacker here. So we have 1 at 2. Yeah, I have to remember I rolled 5, 5, and 2 for my research dice. So 2 trench works and minefields. So here is my fighter. I missed on the fighter. We're going to roll for some of our 3s here. Some of that includes Zeppelins. So all these are 3s. Now I think we should get about 10 hits here. No, maybe not. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hits. Looking good so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right on the money. And for misses, we have exactly the same. So that was exactly 50%. We're well within the margins right now. All right. So we're going to put these on the board right here to help us keep track. And now for our 4s here. Now this should be about 10. Or is it? Let's see, 8. 8 right here. Doesn't look as good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is good enough, right? So we've got 15 total. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 total. Well done. All right, so that's exactly what we wanted. In case you didn't notice here, I actually have these things set up here. That's how many hits I expected, and that's how many hits he expects. So we'll see what the results are. Here we have his units here. I believe this is his 6th infantry, and that is well above average. Well, not well above, but slightly above average. And let's see if these ones go down a little bit. Change the odds a little bit more. Again, really quite above average. So the French are shooting well above their expected results here. And then we have 3 out of 4. All right, so we have 1. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they expected to shoot 10 by my math, and they got 12, so that's quite lovely. All right, so casualties, I don't think it matters too much who takes what casualties off. The fact that I have to take off 12 is going to really hurt me because I don't have 12 infantry coming into the fight. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we have to take off these 11, 12. Really unfortunate, but that's what we have to do. Now, in regards to my opponent, let me just throw these up here before I forget because I do like to organize my casualties. In regards to my opponent here, he has 15 casualties he has to take. So there's 6 here. 6. This is all just guesswork. I'm going for the ones that are worth the most. He has, for artillery, he has 9, and that takes us up exactly to where we want to be. Now it's up to him if he wants to keep 2 artillery or his machine guns, but we're right now faced against 11 machine guns, or 11 artillery on my side. He's got 3 units left, and I've got 11 plus 2, so I don't have that many. Shoot, yeah, it's going to be a rough one on the next round, because he can come in next round with 4, 5, 6, 7. He can come at me with 7. Added to that, what he has there, we'd be an equal fight back and forth. So it really is up to him if he wants to keep his artillery or if he wants to keep his machine guns. Statistically, it works out to be roughly the same anyways, either way we go, but both sides have fairly well decimated each other on this side, so we'll have to see how that pans out. All right, we got one more battle over here in C-Zone 20. I forgot about this one, so let's roll it out and see what the results are. So I have a good few units going in. Now, I'm assuming he's going to want to roll his cruiser at 2 because of the first strike ability. So first of all, I get 1 sub with first strikes, succeeding at 1 and 2. So I roll this first. If it succeeds, then I sink his cruiser. It's a 3, so that missed. Lucky him. All right, now we roll for the regular combat. Here's my 2 dreadnoughts with 1 hit, and that's all we need. But just in case, we're going to roll for 2 subs. 2 hits. All right, that's all we got. And now on his side, he needs to roll a 50% here, 50% chance of hitting with a success. All right. So we are going to go ahead. What are we going to do? Take off a dreadnought? A submarine? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a challenge. I'm not sure exactly what to take because it's just not ideal. It's just not ideal any way I look at it. So I'm going to give this a think and do some math and then leave it at that afterwards. But yeah, I'll be able to release this later on today. I think we're down to the place unit phase for our turn. So we're going to place our dreadnought over here. We're going to place our infantry where we possibly can. So for our infantry, hold on, there should be 15 infantry. Yep, there are. Okay, for our infantry, we're going to put 4 of them over here in this Rhine province. We're going to put 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? Yeah, 7 over here in Bavaria. Sorry, that's 3 more in Bavaria. That's a total of 7, so that leaves us with 8 more. We're going to put 2 over here in German East Africa. German East Africa. And lastly, we are going to put, so that's 8, that means 6 more in Brandenburg, if my math works out. And I believe it does. 6 more in Brandenburg. And let's see. And that about does it for us. And so for income, we actually didn't pick up that many territories. We picked up 2 territories over here. And that about does it for us. We didn't pick up anything in Africa, so we have to go to our collect income phase here. So we're going to drop down the Russian income by 2. 1, 2. While I'm at it, I'm going to drop this down by 2 as well. That is the overall Central Powers, or Entente Cordiale money, so they're at 139 total. We'll knock ours up by 2 as well, just for the heck of it. But that's it. We didn't really do much else. We didn't do any damage else for our enemies. So, oh, with Somaliland as well. So I guess that brings the Italians down by 1, and again us up by 1, and up by 1 here as well. I don't know if I move this up, so I'm going to move 1, 2 for Russian territories there. So I believe that about does it for us. So that is 49 bucks, and now go to our special stuff on this side of things. 49. We have 2 territories in Africa. Sorry, yeah, just British or French. So 2 territories, so that's 51. We have 5 for the North Sea. So 51, that's 56. And then we have Poland, Lithuania, Belarus, and Estonia. 3 of the following, so we have 3 here. So what did I say, 54? Yeah, 54, 55, 57. 57. Sorry, not 57. Yeah, it is 57. I wonder why I had more last time. Did I lose that much territories? I must have. So 57 IPCs. Yeah. 57 NPCs. And that concludes the German turn. Sorry for the long video. I hope you guys appreciate it. I know I did. There's not too much. I hoped a little bit more had come from it. When it comes to technology, or what I place on the board, I have minefields and 2 barbed wire, or 2 trench works. I'm not exactly sure where I'll put them in there. I'll give it a think, and I'll let my opponents know when the time's right. So that is it for the German turn. So thank you all for watching, and check out Madman's channel next. I do have a question here for him also in regards to these Zeppelins. Can they attack and then move off into Brandenburg to land back there? I'm thinking they can, but he'll probably have to double check with me, double check and let me know exactly what they can and can't do. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Cheers.